What's up, guys? It's Eric from Rare Candy, and today we're back with another deck profile for you from Sun and Moon. And we're going to be taking a look at Golduck. It's actually a new archetype that a couple people online have been talking about, including ourselves. We did mention it in our set review. So yeah, we actually posted a recent video of Golduck in action and our recent testing rounds video, so be sure to check that out as well if you want to see how this deck looks. And as usual in our testing rounds videos, these are usually just kind of a rough starting point for us to start testing from. So just keep that in mind when checking out this list. But anyways, so yeah, this is going to be Golduck. It's a new archetype that people have been talking about in Sun and Moon. So let's see what is the hype about. So since this is a Golduck deck, we are playing 4 Psyduck. And it is important to note we are playing the new Sun and Moon Psyduck for its attack that confuses both active Pokemon. A little bit better of an attack than the other one that's already out. But yeah, then we're also playing for Golduck. He is going to be the main attacker of the deck. 90 hit points, which is great because it's level ball searchable and free retreat, so good stats right off the bat. Its first attack, colorless for 20, nothing special, but the second attack is really what people are excited about. So for just 1 water energy, you discard up to 2 waters from your hand, and you do 60 for each water that you discard. So that is super, super strong. 1 energy for 120 on a non-EX and non-GX attacker. Only gives it 1 prize. Level ball searchable. So just a lot of good things going on with Golduck. And that's why we are going to try to make a deck work around this guy. So he's going to be the main attacker, star of the show, etc., etc. So then we have 2 Remoraid and 2 Octillery. This is going to be our form of draw support. We are not playing Shaman in this list. This is going to be a non-EX, non-GX deck. Everything only gives it 1 prize. And you can't attack till turn 2 at the earliest anyway, so there's not a whole lot of need for Shaman. Octillery has the ability Abyssal Hand, draw until you have 5. So this is really good, especially in the late game where N can really, really hurt Golduck. And not being able to draw into those energies that you need to take knockouts is pretty bad in the late game. So we need a way to offset that, and that's going to be with Octillery. And next up, we have a 2/2 Starmie line. That's going to be our other key component to the deck. And so Starmie is really cool. It came out in Evolutions, but it has this ability, Space Beacon. So once during your turn before you attack, you may discard a card from your hand and get 2 basic energies back from your discard pile. So that is perfect for Golduck. Get your 2 energies back, discard them with the attack. And it is important to note too, you can discard a lot of your kind of techie supporters with this. We don't play Ultra Ball on the list, so it's actually great to have an additional way to discard maybe some of the supporters you don't want to see in the late game. Or maybe just ones you want to get back from Versus Seeker. And that's going to be the entire Pokemon line, guys. Pretty straightforward. No frills or bells or whistles really here. Everything just pretty straight to the point. So for our trainer cards, we have 4 Sycamore and 4 N. Our main way of drawing cards. Pretty standard stuff. Sun and Moon didn't really give us much new to work with as far as draw supporters, so we're just sticking to the old favorites, which is fine. Sycamore, discard your hand, draw 7. And N, each player shuffles their hand into their deck and draws equal to the amount of prize cards they have left. So, like I said, in the late game, N really hurts this deck, so that is one reason I do think Octillery is important here. So 2 Lysandre, just to let you choose what you want to take knockouts on. Switch your opponent's active with one of their benched. 1 Fisherman. So put 4 basic energies from your discard pile back into your hand. So Ability Lock at the time of filming is pretty popular. Yveltal Garbodor is kind of like the undisputed best deck in format. Who knows? That might change when Sun and Moon comes out. But for the moment, Garbodor is everywhere. So we need a way to recycle energies without being reliant on Starmie. That's where Fisherman comes in. 1 Teammates. This is a card that I love in almost any non-EX or non-GX deck. Since everything in this deck gives up 1 prize, this is just such a strong card. So you can only use it once one of your Pokemon has been knocked out on your opponent's last turn, but you get to search your deck for any 2 cards. And that's a pretty perfect number. You can grab your 2 water energies that you need. You can grab, evolution pieces you might need. But it's just so good because you can use it up to 5 times in a game since everything only gives up 1 prize. Okay, so then we are also just playing 4 versus Seeker just to reuse all of these different supporters the most amount of times possible. 4 Trainer's Mail, just another common consistency card. Look at the top 4 cards of your deck, pick a trainer card you find there. 4 Dive Ball, so if you've noticed, everything is water type. So Dive Ball can search out anything in this deck. Search your deck for a water Pokemon, put it into your hand. So strong, it's like Ultra Ball without the discarding, and Ultra Ball is already a good card, so not having to discard is even better. And then we're also playing 2 Level Ball. So search your deck for a Pokemon with under 90 hit points. Everything is under 90 hit points. So we basically have 6 free Ultra Balls in this deck. And so there's a lot of stuff we want to set up. Ideally on turn 2, we want 2 Golducks, 1 Octillery, and 1 Starmie. So just playing the 6 search cards helps kind of ensure that. 3 Burst Balloon. So this is a tool card. When it's attached to your active Pokemon and your opponent attacks into them, they take 6 damage counters. And this is pretty important for a couple reasons. 120 is a pretty solid number. It 2-shots most things in the game. But there are certain things that it's like just shy of knocking out. Things like Baby Evoltol, Greninjas, the Geomancy Xerneas, etc. So Burst Balloon is good to clean up knockouts against Pokemon like that, and also against non-fighting Fury Belted EXs. So EXs normally have 170 or 180 hit points, and so if you attack with Golduck, and then they attack into you, that puts them at 180, knocking them out. So actually, if we can find space for an additional Burst Balloon, I would love that as well. So that's one thing I might try to play around with if you are going to build this deck. So also playing 2 Floatstone, just to give free retreat to our Octilleries or maybe our Starmies. 1 Professor's Letter and 1 Energy Retrieval. So these are going to be some different ways we can immediately get some energy into our hand. Professor's Letter lets you get 2 energy out of the deck, and Energy Retrieval lets you get 2 basics out of the discard. So again, in the case that we get ability locked with Starmie out, we will have alternate ways to search out and reuse our energies. So next up we have 2 Super Rod. Shuffle any 3 Pokemon or basic energy from your discard into your deck. This is going to be very important because our opponent has to take 6 prizes, but we only play 4 Golduck. So at some point we are going to have to keep recycling these guys to be able to keep attacking. Otherwise our opponent knocks out 4 Golduck and then they just pick off a Starmie and an Octillery, and that's the game. So we want to be able to recycle our Golducks, and also, again, in the case that we run into Garbodor, we need alternate ways to recycle energy as well. So that's why we're playing the extra Super Rod. Most decks just play the 1. So then we also have 2 Silent Lab. It's going to be our Stadium card. So each player's basic Pokemon have no abilities. So if you notice, we only play stage 1s that have abilities. So that's what makes this card good. If we go against, pretty much any deck that runs Shaman, it can help slow them down. And also against Fright Knight Yveltal, this is a very good card because their ability shuts off tool cards, which we're playing. And so if we play this down and they attack into us, they actually get knocked out after we attack them with Golduck. So that's going to be Silent Lab. And then for our energy cards, we're playing 1 Splash Energy. It's a special energy that lets you get back the water evolution line of whoever it's attached to when it gets knocked out. So it's just another way to help recycle Golducks and keep streaming them throughout the course of the game. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 basic water energy. So that might not seem like a lot for a deck that constantly has to discard, but really we only need 3 energy at a time. We need an energy on Golduck and then 2 to discard, and we can reuse our water energies with Starmie, Fisherman, Energy Retrieval. We have a lot of ways to keep recycling energies at a time. So it's usually not hard to have 3 energies every turn. So that's why we're not playing a heavy count of energy in this deck. But yeah, that's going to be our first draft of Golduck. Kind of a cool card. Definitely, again, if you're a player on a budget and you don't want to commit to buying Shamans, especially at this point in the card's lifespan where it's probably going to get rotated over the summer, this could definitely be a potential option for you. I don't expect this to be an expensive deck at all. But it's fast, consistent, cheap. So it seems like a cool deck, and it's good against Volcanium, which is one of the most popular decks currently. Who knows if Golduck will be tier 1 or anything, but it's definitely a cool deck that we are trying out currently. But yeah, and as usual too, if there's anything in this list that you guys disagree with or would like to see change, feel free to let us know in the comments below. Would love to hear your feedback. But with that, I appreciate you watching, guys. As usual, feel free to like and subscribe. And don't forget to check out our merch over at rarecandytcg.com. If you can pick up something to help support the channel, it would mean a lot to us. But with that, I appreciate you watching, and we will see you for the next one.